to disciple the nations, to preach the gospel of the kingdom. Thank you. Unto all the world, to all the earth, to every creature and all creation. There it is. Unify us in the glory. One mind, one accord, with that spirit and that sound that's in the light, of the tempo, of the rhythms, of the cadences, the vibrations, the frequencies, the songs, the dance, the motion, the movement, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light. Oh. The Bible is a great book. You're a great book too. He told me too, he said it's the year of the cloud and the year of the open book.
Welcome to the Bethel Church Sermon of the Week. We hope you enjoy this message by Pastor Bill Johnson. For more information about this podcast and other resources, visit ibethel.org.
All right, you guys ready? I've had an interesting week, to say the least. Interesting week. We've had a situation come up. I don't ever take time for this on a Sunday. Usually, if there's a problem that comes up, we're pretty much able to deal with it separately. But we felt as a staff and a leadership that I needed to kind of alert you to something. And then I'm going to do a teaching, kind of a spin-off from that. And so I met this week with our students, our student body. And on, I think, how many meetings did I have? I think I had 4 meetings, 3 meetings, 3 meetings. 4. I had 4 meetings. I had 4 meetings this week to talk about the same thing, and that's to give a warning about an individual whose life and ministry has become horribly deceived and contaminated. And so I'm throwing up alert signs. You know, some people say, well, judge not that you be not judged. That's true. The way I don't have the right to ever condemn. But Paul said, do we not judge within the household of faith? And it's a word of demarcation. The Bible talks about the defilement that takes place through bitterness and resentment. That many become defiled, and that you're to mark a divisive man. So one of the sons of our house, which makes it so sad, is someone that we have held in high esteem, and I've had such wonderful times with in my personal life as well as in ministry, is Jason Westerfield, who has been a real hero through the years. But a number of years ago, Jason became very embittered, and I know of at least 7 people that have spent anywhere from an hour to up to 8 hours with him to try to help and to serve and to direct. And at least to this point, the counsel has not been received. But as a result, what concerns me even more, I shouldn't say concerns me even more, but hopefully this will make sense, concerns me even more than the resentment is the deception that has followed. It's actually been a spirit of deception welcomed into his life to such a degree that it's absolutely frightening. In over 40 years of ministry, I've never seen one individual be able to spiritually contaminate so many in one night. We've had, besides the counseling, we've had torment on people's lives that just went into the building, picked up a spirit of offense, left, and have lived under torment. And there's been intense ministry from that one. I've never seen this in over 40 years of ministry. So this is just, it's more than caution flags. I brought up my guns. And it's no resentment towards an individual. There's just a spirit behind it that really, really I'm concerned about. And the deception is crazy. There's a real insanity involved. And so here's my heart's cry. We're gonna open the Word. I'm gonna talk to you about the passion for more at any cost, and I'll try to explain that in just a heartbeat here. But my concerns are much deeper and broader than I have the liberty to share. I want to keep him covered because I'm believing for restoration. I have a personal affection for him, for his wife, his kids, and been in their home. We've worked together. It's hard to describe the kind of pain that's involved in this kind of an announcement, just for a lot of personal reasons as well as corporate. But you can't partner. In 1 John, he says, don't even greet a person who denies the teachings of Jesus. You can't partner with somebody who diminishes Jesus from the role of absolute Son of God to just a good man. You can't do that. You can't do that. We have a lot of toleration for uniqueness around here. That would be the understatement of I was flashing back this morning at some of the experiences we had. I'll never forget the Sunday we had a young man that was just inspired to be courageous, and he painted half his face blue. He got a wooden sword, and he ran across the front of the sanctuary yelling like Braveheart. And I thought, well, that's cool. All right. We've had a lot of interesting experiences through the years. We had a guy doing cartwheels during worship, and I mean just doing flips and cartwheels. And I watched him go back and forth about 3 or 4 times. He looked at me and I went, one more. So I was afraid there was going to be a broken neck, and I'd have to pray for healing. And so we have a fair amount of toleration for differences. We fellowship with a lot of people that have unique values in their personal disciplines and theologies. And I remember one of our own came in a wedding gown and combat boots, at least on one occasion, right? Yes. And so we've had our share of unique expressions. This is not the absence of toleration. This is an absolute burden and concern to put up walls of protection because of the impartation that is actually demonic impartation has taken place. So for that reason, I'm just saying, don't try to fix them. There are people in place that can help to bring great restoration and healing, and that's what we